Harvard.
Which Harvard?
Lenny's.
Doesn't
Make him feel better about it.
No. It's just nothing's going to make me feel good until they,
I'm wearing red, so
Harvard Crimson, baby.
I'll just blend in with my shirt as we do this story.
As you get into a fit of pique.
Yes. Yes.
P-I-Q-U-E.
Yes.
Okay.
And when I came in, you said you changed it to the Conch Republic because you're seceding. I'm assuming.
I'm encouraging the Conch Republic to continue their path towards separation from the United States.
And you're going to move to that area.
Well, it's a little.
Have you seen the real estate prices down there?
Exactly.
Woo!
Yeah. You know, it's a little.
Good luck with that.
It's a little exposed. There's no more FEMA, so it's a little exposed out there.
Good luck with that.
Hurricane season is there. Yeah, we like where we live.
So you are angry.
I'm offended
at the current administration.
Correct.
And why are you angry at the current administration with Harvard?
Because they're strong-arming Harvard in particular and other universities to do their bidding or just, capitulate and not be a free-run educational institution. It's bad enough that
If they were free-run, why would they use so much of the U.S. dollars?
For the betterment of society.
That's according to Harvard.
It's according to the results they found.
Did you see what our second part of our story is about and the preservatives and what it's doing to us?
Yeah.
From their science?
Yes.
Okay, Harvard.
Well, that's the FDA.
If you don't like it, don't take the money, and then don't bitch about it when we ask you to do something.
Ask you to
Harvard.
do what? Ask you to do what? Their bidding?
What bidding are they asking the Harvard to do?
Not to accept foreign students because God forbid.
Not to accept all foreign students. No, it was not to. It wasn't just open to all foreign students. It was to give priority to U.S. students, which is not the same as not to accept all foreign students.
No.
It was not.
This is another backdoor attempt at immigration control or getting rid of immigrants.
They asked Harvard
to not accept foreign students. No, they asked
Harvard to give a preference to U.S. students. They did not ask them to not accept.
Excuse me, is that affirmative action?
Are you a fan of affirmative action?
I thought the Supreme Court said you can't do that anymore.
Are you a fan of affirmative action?
Yes, I think there should be a little bit of help for people who can't get there.
You should have a problem with this then.
I have a problem.
If you're a fan of affirmative action, because I remember you bitching about when we got rid of affirmative action. So you are talking out of both sides right now because you said you're a fan of affirmative action. Yes, this is a type of affirmative action.
Leveling the playing field.
If we're giving you U.S. money, then you should give preference to U.S. students. If you don't like that, don't accept the money and run your own.
As opposed to
that is not saying don't accept any. They did not say that. They said give preference to U.S. students.
As opposed to the U.S. students who aren't paying for their education, as opposed to the foreign students that are paying full freight to go to Harvard?
How Harvard's able to do that is through their huge-ass investments. Endowments.
Yes, it's one of the largest in the world.
Yeah, and a lot of that money came from the U.S. government.
I thought it came from very good investing.
Yeah, very good investing.
Yeah.
Hey, write us a check again.
Well.
Write us a check again.
Well, gee.
Because there's so many, there are a lot of presidents that went to Harvard.
There's a lot of
presidents that went to Yale. Most Ivy League schools are in that same situation. Very few Ivy League schools require U.S. citizens that qualify to pay a tuition.
Yeah, I don't know if Cornell got there yet. I don't know if Dartmouth has. It's Harvard, Yale, Columbia.
But they still give quite a bit of a discount to a U.S. student than they do others. But what was asked of Harvard?
Yeah, it was keep foreigners out of the country.
No,
that's what this fascist government wants.
That's not true.
It's true.
No, that's you.
Oh, he's closing the door of anybody who's not white.
That's you.
If you're not white, you're not welcome here.
Not true at all.
Yeah. What about South Africa?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, genocide. That's not true. He's lying out of his ass.
What are you talking about with South Africa? What are you talking about?
Trump
you went from Harvard to South Africa. Stay on the argument you just lost before you lose your second one.
This one.
Yes, you did.
The president is making up stories about genocide in South Africa.
So is Harvard. Harvard's making up stories. They're the ones that's accepting money for all. Who do you think's paid for all their research? And they're like,
and how does this research benefit?
Huh? I don't know. We're going to talk about the preservatives they created. You want to see what hypocrites Harvard actually is.
Well, that's just the foolish nature of just the FDA.
Now that we jump from South Africa to Harvard to South Africa, what are you talking about with
President Trump sat in the Oval Office with the president of South Africa and basically claimed genocide, white genocide in South Africa. He showed a video of 1,000 crosses lining a street and said, that's a mass grave of white people. Okay, and they're looking at him going, what the hell are you talking about?
I have not seen that.
It was crosses that were put there for a funeral procession for a couple of people that were killed who were white people. Mm-hmm. And then he said it's 1,000 graves of white South Africans that were murdered.
Genocide?
He's calling it genocide. He's saying there's a white genocide. I
need you to fact check that.
Please go right ahead.
Please fact check that one.
Get the interview yesterday in the Oval Office.
The social media that goes from both sides.
This is coming out of his mouth.
You know the word extremist?
The man is delusional.
Yeah.
You know the man has no grasp of reality or facts. Facts that exist, as opposed to what he says.
He's our president, and you didn't have enough damn people to vote against him. I didn't vote for him.
That's because Elon Musk bought votes. And that's because Trump promised things that he's not going to deliver.
My dear God, leave the conspiracies to the right side. At least the left side has some compassion. What you're saying today is making the left sound like imbeciles. And that's the extremist of where we talked about extremists jumping on the hate. So
it's not hate, it's reality. It's not hate. I don't hate him. I just think he's out of his mind.
Okay. That completely sounded rational.
Because he makes up stuff. Is there anything that this man says that's based in reality?
Is there anything in the dossier that was real? That was made up by the Clintons? Is there anything in that dossier that was proven to be 100% lies?
So we're going back to, it doesn't matter what's happening now, but what they did, let's stay in today. Let's stay in the here and now.
I agree. I don't like him as a human being. But I do not.
But you can't play but.
No, I'm not playing
but. Whataboutism. I'm not doing whataboutism.
You are.
I'm saying the man's not grounded in reality.
You are. You're taking the side of Harvard, who's accepting money from the U.S. government that has all the money in the world, and the Negro College Fund doesn't have the money.
And Trump ain't going to give it to him.
We'll find out about that.
Yeah. He might have to do it now just to prevent the fact that he's whitewashing everything.
Yeah. No, he's not whitewashing anything. And that's.
Oh, yeah?
No.
He just took money away from an African-American museum in Boston. He wants to close the National Museum of African History.
The Smithsonian. We're throwing it up here. What are the details of why? Because wait. That seems to always leave the left of why. No, we're doing it because and now let's make it a racist thing. That is what extremists do because of hate. Tell me the reason why. Tell me the true reason why that's happening. I don't like this man as an individual, but to call him an imbecile, he's not. You cannot do that. He's the president of the United States. He made himself $1 billion, and that you don't get that if you're an imbecile. So it just doesn't happen.
Come on, CNN, now you're making me pay for shit?
CNN, oh my gosh, you just did that.
No, they're making me pay for stuff.
Yeah. How dare them? Them fascists?
CNN went behind a paywall, which is ridiculous. I'm trying to find that article about the place in Boston.
Yeah. And Josh, thank you. He said Trump already gave him the money when he was president last time.
So basically, right now, it basically says no. There's an official genocide going on right now. There's like small political groups within South Africa that says some extremist stuff that are in government. But however, though, the current government does not endorse like the small government and basically says like.
No. I wanted to hear if Trump said there was a genocide.
Yes.
He actually made the statement that there is a genocide going on.
More than once.
And he actually showed a video to the South African president while they were in the Oval Office together.
Of all the crosses on the road.
He's following the social media also.
Well, it's whoever put a bug in his ear last.
Now there's a thing going on where Elon Musk has his Grok, the XAI thing. Grok admitted so basically like Twitter's like chatbot. The Grok admitted to a user that the administrators of the chatbots told them to push the white genocide to users to say yes, there is a white genocide in South Africa.
Well, it helps the Proud Boys be more proud of what they do.
Yeah.
Okay, so for 60 years, Boston's Museum of African American History has transported people to the past, letting visitors see 200-year-old...
Slow down where people can actually hear what you're saying.
Well, I'm amped up.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So people actually hear what you're saying.
Fine. Yeah, I know. It's the South. They can't keep up with me. I know. I got to talk slow.
And there you go.
Right.
There you go right there, Ivy League. And that's what the Ivy Leagues think. Everybody in the South is ignorant.
No,
you do.
No,
you do.
No, just talk slower. It's just a much slower pace.
You do. And every time we do business with you guys, you ended up getting your ass kicked so many times. Why do you think so many New Yorkers are living in Florida?
1864?
Yeah.
Taxes.
Yeah.
Straightforward taxes.
Yeah, or it's northern aggression.
Right, northern aggression. Yeah, we were the aggressors. Yeah. We were the ones who went out to Fort Sumter.
Wait. You said you were seceding. What did they do in '63?
Yeah, well.
Okay, all right then. So
right.
I'm gonna how'd
that work out for him?
Charge you for
how'd that work out for him? Okay.
All right, so start over.
For 60 years, Boston's Museum of African American History, this is just in Boston right now, as opposed to the National Museum of African American History, which he also would like to close, has transported people to this past, letting visitors see 200-year-old meeting house to see where abolitionists like Frederick Douglass spoke, also here in St. Augustine, and walk through halls where the young black soldiers once rallied to fight in the Civil War. But recently, the museum's history programs for school children were put at risk after the Trump administration canceled its federal grant, saying in a letter that the funding no longer serves the interest of the United States. So we don't want to educate people about black history in the United States because it goes against the history.
Who wrote that?
The Trump administration canceling the grant.
No, who wrote the article?
Who wrote the article?
Yeah.
Piper Hudspeth, Blackburn, and Sunland Sever.
From what publication?
CNN. Well, it's the article.
That's not left-leaning at all.
I
I guarantee you there's more to it than just that.
Well,
I guarantee you if we go to presidents that have supported the United Negro College Fund and given more money than any other president, guess which one's going to be number one?
You think Donald Trump?
Guess which one's going to be number one? He got a National Achievement Award.
Who?
Donald Trump.
Achieved something nationally?
Yes, a National Achievement Award from the NAACP for his contributions to help the black Americans.
When was that?
It's 12.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. It was like 2012.
So he's made a hard right turn.
Yeah, come on, man.
What?
People don't do that.
Well,
gosh, dang
people
it.
don't do that?
You don't change
How come he's
stripes?
only letting white people into the country and he's not letting other genocidal people?
Are you kidding me?
No,
right
I'm
now?
not.
You think what's happening with the illegal immigration in the United States
Legal
is
immigration.
because they're white. You think that is the reason why?
Yes, those poor persecuted. He thinks there's persecution of white people. Are white people being persecuted in the United States?
No one's being persecuted. We're still the greatest country, except for the crazy ass people that live on both sides of the extreme, which you are currently on right now today. And that's what's hurting the country. If we can stay somewhat in the middle and say, all right, let's fix all our problems and stop fighting with each other.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
That would be a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Why don't we start that in Congress and Senate?
Before he opens his mouth, you already think he's a fascist and an idiot.
By definition.
And we don't get it. He's not by definition, by opinion.
Please.
That is by opinion.
What's
100%.
the definition of a fascist? And what's the administration doing?
Why don't you tell me, and you tell me how it fits into your mindset of that. Calling our president a fascist makes you an extremist.
All right.
Right there with Mark Milley.
Yeah.
All right.
And General McSally. And General Kelly.
I can't believe you're making me defend the president of our United States, and that's what. Go ahead, Blake.
I'm talking about three of the most.
Blake's getting in there.
All right.
Awarded military leaders call him a fascist.
All right, I do have a point though, because there's one thing that a lot of like dictators start off with is targeting the media. So why do you think then Trump is trying to sue CBS News, ABC News, and then like all of the other organizations that they reported on Trump, but then afterwards they get sued by the president of the United States.
Yeah, him suing. I'm telling you right now, I do not agree with everything he does. But to just throw the headlines out there and not give the why and not how this is happening and not give the full story.
According to him, African American history is not in the best interest of the United States.
Because he didn't fund those two items. And CNN has jumped on that
That's just today that he's pulling back funding there.
That means we should just give it to Eatonville because somebody complained and wrote an article that Eatonville deserves it more than us.
No.
That's just BS because the why is what's important.
Why? Because he doesn't think African-American history is an investment.
Your opinion.
That's what he said. It's not my opinion. It's his words. You can't blame this on me.
CNN, who's definitely not left or leaning.
Oh, so when it's in quotes and it's coming out of his mouth, then it's all of a sudden it's leftist propaganda?
It's in his...
Seriously.
Yeah, okay, it wasn't taken out of context at all.
It's quotes.
Why did so many African-Americans
He
vote
said
for
genocide and because they were led down that proverbial Shakespearean primrose path.
Okay, so now you're a racist.
I'm a racist.
Because you just said they weren't smart enough to make a decision.
I didn't say that.
See how easy that was?
I said they were misled.
See how easy that was?
Yeah.
That's what's happening in our world. That's what's happening in our world. Okay? We take those words, we turn them against them. I just took your words.
Thank you.
And I just turned it into you being a racist right then, didn't I? That's how easy it is.
No, you misinterpreted what I said.
Oh.
Which is different than this is different than music.
You don't think that's happening?
Not when he's saying it verbatim.
Gosh. Yeah, well, you just said it verbatim that they basically weren't smart enough to make their own decision.
I'm saying they were sold a bill of goods.
Just saying. That's how easy it is.
So you want to know? You want to know what the definition of fascism is?
Please.
A populist political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual, that is associated with a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, that is characterized by severe economic and social regimentation and forcible suppression of opposition.
So that's impossible for him to be a fascist if he's president.
Absolutely not.
We have three branches. You can't be a dictator here in this country.
Well, he's already forced the Senate and the judiciary. What you want to talk about? You want to get into weaponization?
He forced it?
You want to get into?
He forced it?
Yeah.
Those people were elected. Those people were elected by the people in their region.
Right. And now are fearful of a primary that's put out by Trump. Because if you don't do what I say, we're going to primary you.
That's on them not doing the right thing.
Well, that's them on having no backbone.
That's them.
He's certainly entitled to go do that.
That's on them for not doing the right thing.
But they're afraid of him and his populist movement.
Yeah.
So and
I can't believe I'm having to defend Donald Trump this hard because you went that far that left.
I went to the reality of the fact that the man's a fascist. Of course it is.
It's not reality.
Sure
you can't call him a fascist because it's not even possible in this country. Actually, you're allowed to because we are in this country.
Yeah, well, when they come knocking on my door tomorrow, I'll remind you of that.
That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Let's hope not.
Now, they might kill our algorithms because of this, but that's okay too. Because we're telling the truth, your truth and my truth, and that's how it is. So, okay, we need a drink.
I brought a bottle, and it's overproof.
You brought a bottle. I'm taking a sip. Oh man,